Hey, what's going on, guys? Radio Dave here with Mixer Records. We're just chatting with a legend in the EDM. Well, that's probably a fucking insult, but a legend in the house music, electronic music industry. Kelly Reverb and Chad LeMans. What's going on, guys?
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Super stoked to chat with you guys today. We got a lot of ground to cover. I mean, you've been in the industry forever, Kelly.
I have since the 90s. I started DJing in the 80s.
So DJ, you're playing on what? Vinyl and cassettes back then?
Oh, dude, I wish. No, you would record your vinyl set to cassette.
Oh, wow.
Learning on those belt drive turntables. Good times.
So what are you spinning on now?
Well, now just whatever controller's in front of me.
Right. So you're versatile. As long as it's got plays music, you can do it.
I can still do turntables as well. So
what do you prefer?
I have that. I actually have a skill set.
Right. I would hope so with that wall of vinyl behind you. That's incredible.
This is just one of two. There's another one over there that's even more.
There's boxes, dude. Yeah, it's out of control for sure.
That's amazing. So, Chad, when did you get into DJ?
Man, I was making some sort of music on like the original FL back when it was Fruity Loops.
Oh, yeah.
Like I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I liked doing it.
Yeah.
So I met Kelly actually at a show where I was a sound engineer and he was the DJ that night. And then, we met each other and basically just fell in love at first sight.
That's right. It's been a honeymoon ever since.
Yeah, for sure. We were putting out music back then that like in reality sucked.
Right.
Some people liked it, I guess, but we didn't.
That's usually how it goes. You always hold yourself to a different standard. But and
the stuff that we're putting out now is like light years beyond. And we're also both sober too, which is pretty gnarly.
That's huge, especially in this industry.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Well, how it started for me, I actually started producing, if you want to go back, if that was one of your questions, I started producing on Cubasis on an Atari computer that I had bought from one of my friends, where you load up your project file on a floppy disk.
That's incredible.
So then, but then it migrated from that, and I had the outboard studio, and then went to Cubasis, and then moved on to eventually to Reason. And then now, I kind of stopped producing for a while when Ableton first came around, because it was new and it scared me.
Yeah, Ableton.
But now it's cool because Chad speaks computer, and it's a nice marriage because he knows definitely the technical side and has an ear from just listening to so much music. Whereas I have, 30 years of input from all the dance records that I've ever heard.
Yeah, for sure. And most of his input's trash, but it's okay. We weed through.
You're right, dude.
So Chad's able to translate the genius in your head onto a
exactly.
Screen.
Well, I put it like I say, like it's like that movie Ghost, and it's like I'm like Demi Moore around him while he's at the potter's wheel.
You're Patrick Swayze.
Oh, I'm Patrick Swayze.
And I'm Demi.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's the perfect metaphor for that. So I know you've got a track coming out here on the 21st, "Must Get Burned," which is insane. I love that track. It's gonna be in my next mix show.
Oh, nice.
I love that.
That's cool.
So is that? I'm assuming that's not the kind of stuff you were making 10 years ago. How did you get? Like, what's the journey of your sound to get to what it is now? It sounds so modern, but it's definitely still got old school feel and vibe to it, which I don't know how you married, but you definitely pulled that off.
Well, I started off in the breakbeat era in the 90s when I started producing, like around 95. And then I actually had some success with that, but it was back in the day where you had to go hunting for samples and everything was analog. So, at my apartment, it was just all this analog gear and everything like that. But then nowadays it's Splice, Lander, and all those other sites. You can just take, it's basically like putting a puzzle together. So it's like so much more easier than it was and less labor intensive than it was back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. We've got it easy nowadays compared to you guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. But then there is a learning curve once you get to Ableton, and then once you get past that and realize that it's, you know, kind of just like being able to manipulate those pieces of the puzzle in order for them to fit, then, you know, if you've got the ear and the talent to do that, then it's pretty easy. And Chad and I are both a fan of the old school analog. So to answer your question, basically, you know, we're big fans of the whole arpeggiation, moog type of sound. So we always try to kind of keep that element as a part of our production.
Was it hard to do? Was it hard to find a blend that works? You know, sometimes the balance can be off. You can find sounds that it's almost too retro, or you make it too modern, but you guys got a really good blend of both.
With that track, I'm gonna take these off. I look too much like a cop. Like trying to look cool, and I'm like, I look like a total dick. With that track,
I'm like, dick? Wait, dick.
I was gonna say, if you're a cop, you have to tell me.
With that track, man, it was there was like 10 different versions of it, and every time something would be like, we'd get it to where we liked it, and then something would be slightly off. So then we were like tuning this and tuning that to try and match, and then we'd have to retune it because, I mean, the bass itself is like really gritty, so we had to take a lot out of it. Because like the original one was, you know, it was all distorted.
It was all just going to be initially like a tech house track, and we were going to leave it minimal and just be at that. But then this whole epic breakdown part happened, and I think that's actually going to be, people will be looking for that song. Hey man, you got that song called Move Bitch?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's something memorable that sticks in your head, and you know, hopefully we'll get some Shazams and some downloads and some plays.
Oh,
yeah, and like they're doing the vocal, you know, I was just like, hey, I got an idea for a song, and Kelly was like, all right, what is it? And I was like, Boko Doko Choco Choco Doko Doko Dara. And he was like, man, that's sick. So we recorded that in the garage, then we found some stuff that worked, and that's pretty much how we did it, dude.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's a lot of how the industry goes. They're just trying to come up with sound, random shit that you just hear in your head, and you're like, I got to get this out somehow. It's like an itch you got to scratch, even though it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's awesome. Have you had any chance to play it live yet?
I did. I actually was in Miami. I played it at the Clevelander, and it sounds fantastic. And we actually have another one coming out on Mixa that is called Something Beautiful, full vocal. Yeah, and it sounded like beyond what my expectations were. I was like, man, this shit really bumps.
Awesome. You're gonna have to send me that one. I haven't heard that one yet.
Well, you know, you got to know people, and you know, you might know Tim. So then
yeah,
we'll see
if
we can get you an advanced copy.
Dude, for $3 million, like, I'll sign it. You know what I mean? For you.
That's all. Giving it away, man.
Yeah. And I'll donate most of the money, but I'm definitely going to keep some.
You got to keep some for yourself. You got there's bills to pay.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you had what's the feedback you've gotten on the track so far?
I mean, a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, have given me great feedback, like Mesa and Boss. They're really digging it. So I've had all positive feedback. Now I'm just kind of waiting to see it out there on the circuit. You know, at some big festival, we'll see, you know, John Summit playing it.
Yeah.
I got some really good feedback from the Lutheran church. I sent it to them, and they were like, oh, this is really good.
This is a bop.
This is what they call lit.
Yeah.
So
lit in the Lutheran world. That's high praise.
Right. Yeah. Very high, literally high praise.
So comparing Something Beautiful to Must Get Burned, who did the vocals for you on that one? Something Beautiful.
That was a vocal that Chad found on Lander. But then we just took bits and pieces of it and then layered it, and, you know, did the octave like pitch shift on it, and it kind of just became its own beast. And it's like bass house, but then it's like also progressive house. So whatever the kids call it these days.
I like the sounds of that. The good shit is that's what you can call
right.
it.
Yeah. Well, there's two kinds of music: good and bad. So. hopefully we make good.
Just try to make
it's kind of like the kind of song you could just sit there and you could either have a glass of wine to and have a simple conversation with a lady friend, or you could be drinking coffee and get all amped up and go punch out a car windshield. Whatever you want to do. It's one of them kind of songs.
That's what I like, when you go full Street Fighter in the bonus. Now, after Something Beautiful, so you guys are loaded up the next few months. You've got an EP dropping here in the summer as well, correct?
Well, it's going to be part of the EP, the Something Beautiful. And then we have other tracks which are coming out with a few other labels. A song called Be Quiet that comes out in May. And then we've got a few, still in the bank that I'm shopping to, I guess like Syrup or somebody kind of overseas to heighten the profile across the pond. So then we get booked for the big festivals.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, it sounds like you've got all the connections to make that happen. I mean, you've spun with Carl Cox.
My connections are a little old and dusty, but there are new connections to be made. So and I mean, I know Prayer Hands is coming up, so hopefully he'll play some of our stuff, and we'll capture that youth demographic.
Yeah,
It's awesome to be working with some guy who was able to see the Great Flood. You know what I mean? Because he's got all the tips and tricks. You know what I mean? From all different mass level extinctions that have happened throughout the world.
Exactly. Yes. We're talking. What is it?
I mean, dude, you saw when the wheel was invented, and then he was like, "I'm gonna put some music on that thing."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I was there for Lincoln assassination. Was in the booth adjacent to them
in the booth
at the Ford Theater. I was just to the left of Abe Lincoln.
I could have sworn he was assassinated in a Chevrolet theater.
So you got any shows coming up, guys, that you're going to be able to test these tracks out?
I do actually. I'm playing. I've got a park party that I'm playing for a friend of mine in Dallas. He's a producer. He's on In Stereo and Nervous Records. Goes under Sam Malone, and he throws these park parties, and it's on Earth Day, so it's just a nice vibe party. And then I've got Tempe, Arizona. I've got Houston, Texas, and I think we're trying to book Austin right before Houston. And then I've got Redmond, Oregon, and then I've got Tampa, Florida. So it'll happen soon enough. But it's going to be good timing because that's going to just be coming. Our material's going to be just hitting while I'm touring. So
that's awesome. So you guys got a busy split coming up.
I've got a couple chili cook-offs coming up.
That's where the inspiration comes from, man. The sounds that are coming from the chili cook-offs.
Chili cook-offs.
Chili cook-offs are next level, dude, for sure.
Bro, I've seen some chili fights, dude.
They take their chili seriously.
Bro, you wouldn't believe it. Down here ain't nothing but chili and sears, man.
Oh, that's great. Man, it was absolutely fantastic to talk to you guys. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us here for Mixa. Is there anything else you guys wanted that we should be tagging here before we say goodbye?
I think that's about it. I mean, we've got like you said, 3 coming out with Mixa, and that is going to be over probably a couple months, but that's coming up soon. So, world, get ready for us. Reverb and LeMans.
That's it.
I just want to shout out the #1 greatest world artist of all time in the entire United world. And I just thank you so much for everything you've done. And it is Madonna. Oh my God, I love Madonna.
You've heard it here first. Chad LeMans made it.
#1 greatest artist in the entire United world.
She's the best. Oh, incredible. Thanks so much for tuning in and jumping in with me, guys. Massive shout out.
Right, thank you
to Kelly Reverb, not Roland.
Yeah, right.
Chad LeMans. Make sure you check their track out, Must Get Burned, dropping April 25th, only on Mixa Records. And we'll catch
21st.
What did I say? 21st. I'm all over the place. Thanks so much, guys.
Move, bitch. Burn, 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 burn.